Welcome back to Awakening the Inner Avatar. Today, we enter one of the most emotionally raw chapters of the entire series. A chapter of heat, hallucination, conflict, discovery, and grief. This is The Desert. A story about loss, about what happens when the ground beneath you gives away. A story about exhaustion, depression, and the moments that test the very core of who we are. Because sometimes awakening doesn't come through clarity. Sometimes it comes through wandering, through confusion, through the moments when we think we're breaking. And yet, even in the harshest desert, there is a path forward if we're willing to keep walking. The episode begins in a wasteland. Wind blowing, miles of dunes in every direction, no water, no shade, no plan. Toph, who relies on the vibrations of solid earth to see, is nearly blind. Sokka is exhausted. Katara is doing everything she can to stay calm. And Aang is breaking. His first words aren't fear, they're anger. He lashes out at Toph, furious that she didn't stop the sandbenders from taking Appa. But Katara steps in. Aang isn't angry at Toph. He's grieving the loss of his oldest friend. Still, he can't hear it. He takes to the sky, blowing on his bison whistle, desperate for any sign of Appa. But the desert gives him nothing. Below, the others realize a harsh truth. They are the only people who know about the solar eclipse. They have to make it to Ba Sing Se somehow. And so they walk together, but barely holding on. Meanwhile, far away, Zuko and Uncle Iroh make camp, only to be ambushed by Colonel Monk and the rough rhinos. A confrontation breaks out. Metal, fire, dust. Zuko and Uncle Iroh escape, but barely. Their path, like the desert, is full of people who want them captured or dead. In the Misty Palms oasis, Toph's pursuers arrive. And not long after, so do Zuko and Uncle Iroh. Two stories, now dangerously close, inching toward collision. As the heat rises, the gang struggles forward. Katara carefully rations her small pouch of bending water. Sokka, delirious with thirst, finds a cactus and drinks its liquid. And suddenly, he's gone. Intoxicated, sweating, laughing, seeing visions that aren't there. Momo joins him, also high on cactus juice. Toph is half blind. Sokka is hallucinating. Momo is chirping nonsense. Aang is spiraling deeper into despair. And Katara is holding everyone together with sheer willpower. She becomes the anchor, the mother, the leader, because someone has to be. Night falls. Aang returns, exhausted. His voice is small, cracked. We won't make it without Appa. And Katara, exhausted but unwavering, refuses to let the group fall apart. She says, "We're getting out of this desert together." It's one of her strongest moments as a leader. She gathers everyone, even the hallucinating members, holds their hands, and leads them onward under the night sky. They press forward using the star map Sokka stole from the library. The same map Aang dismissed as useless. Because Katara sees what Aang cannot. In survival, everything matters. Even the smallest piece of knowledge can save your life. Back at the oasis, Uncle Iroh notices a man playing Pai Sho. Zuko questions why his uncle is gambling. But this is no game. Uncle Iroh places the White Lotus tile on the table, a secret symbol recognized by a select few. The board is arranged. The pattern forms. The man looks up and says, "Welcome, brother." The White Lotus opens wide to those who know her secrets. This is the moment the audience learns Uncle Iroh is not just a wise old man. He is a grand master in a covert philosophical society. A society rooted in peace, wisdom, and unity beyond borders. And they help him and Zuko escape. Because even in a dangerous world, there are still hidden pockets of human goodness. Guided by starlight, the gang finds a sand sailor ship. Aang reluctantly helps power it with airbending. They travel until they reach a massive rock formation, the only solid earth for miles, the magnetic center of the desert. Toph is overjoyed. She can finally see again. Inside the rock's caverns, they find sticky residue and soon discover why. Giant buzzard wasps attack. Momo is carried away. Aang chases after him, refusing to lose anyone else. The others are overwhelmed until suddenly sandbenders appear. Not as enemies. Not yet. But the moment Toph hears one voice, everything changes. The Sandbenders demand to know why the group has their ship. Katara explains. They're traveling with the Avatar. Their sky bison was stolen. The younger Sandbender scoffs, defensive, dismissive, but Toph freezes. His voice, she knows it. He was one of the ones who stole Appa. Aang arrives, furious, trembling, ready to break. He confronts the young man. Where is Appa? The sandbender tries to turn the accusation back on them. Aang snaps. He breaks their ship with airbending. Wind spirals. Sand erupts. A storm begins to twist around him, the precursor to the Avatar state. Finally, the young man confesses. He traded Appa to merchants. Appa is probably in Ba Sing Se. He apologizes, but it means nothing. Aang is no longer hearing words. He is hearing grief. He rises, glowing, furious, the sand swirling violently around him. Then, Katara steps forward. She puts her hand on his arm, soft, steady, grounding. And Aang's rage collapses into sobs. Katara catches him, holds him, because even the Avatar needs someone to carry him when he breaks. Let's take a breath. This episode offers some of the deepest emotional lessons in the series. Here are 3 reflections to carry with you. Aang's grief over Appa strips him down to his rawest self, angry, terrified, vulnerable. Loss does that. It exposes what matters most. Now ask yourself, what recent loss or disappointment is revealing something important about my heart? Now repeat to yourself, my grief speaks truth. I honor what it teaches. Katara leads through exhaustion, but she also softens. She listens. She gathers everyone's hands, even when they're falling apart. Strength doesn't always mean being unbreakable. It means staying connected. Now ask yourself, where am I trying to carry too much alone? Now repeat to yourself, I am allowed to ask for help. I do not walk the desert by myself. Aang's fury wasn't hatred, it was heartbreak. When we witness our anger without judgment, we often find sorrow underneath. When we witness our anger without judgment, we often find sorrow underneath. Now ask yourself, what anger am I holding that might actually be unexpressed pain? Now repeat to yourself, I meet my anger with compassion. I let it soften into understanding. The desert teaches us that awakening doesn't only happen in sacred temples or under peaceful skies. Sometimes it happens when we're lost, dehydrated, frustrated, barely holding it together. It happens when we keep going, even when we're tired. When we let ourselves cry, even when we want to appear strong. When we lean on others, even when our pride resists it. The desert strips away illusions and leaves us with truth. So as you move through your own dry seasons, your confusion, your grief, your moments of overwhelm, remember, you will not be in this desert forever. And you do not have to walk through it alone. Until next time, breathe deeply, walk gently, and let the soft hand of compassion guide you home. This is Awakening the Inner Avatar. This podcast is a fan-created project intended for educational and spiritual reflection. All clips, references, and content related to Avatar, The Last Airbender, Star Wars, Rebels, and other media are used under fair use for commentary, analysis, and transformative discussion. All rights to original shows, characters, and music belong to their respective creators and copyright holders.